I'll make a motion to approve the minutes.
Hearing none, I'm loving that David's already pushing us forward. Thank you so much. Can I have a second? I will. Lauren will second.
I'll second.
Thank you very much. And then all in favor, just raise your hand if you're a voting member on the screen up there. The minutes have passed and appreciate that very much. I need to go back and read Robert's rules again. Okay. All right, let's go over to the agendas for today on April the 7th. So we've already done our welcome and introductions. We've already done our approval. We were supposed to have Sean Riley on from TARC 3. Any of our TARC people know if he was coming? Miss Anna or Miss Jennifer?
I'm not aware. Let me try to reach out to him and see what's going on.
All right, very good. We'll move on. Housing and visibility, David.
It'll be a short meeting, I'll tell you right now.
That's good.
We did not meet, maybe it's in my mind or I'm delusional, or wouldn't get here, but did not we think at the last meeting about trying to get someone from Metro Housing some of our concerns about housing, which coming next month. All right, thank you. I didn't know. Thank you very much for that. So she'll be coming next month to give us a
May.
in May to talk about, well, there's a question already for this.
Hey, Billy.
Can I ask,
Yeah,
Larry,
I'm
you're
on-
not
Can
muted.
turn the sound on for you.
Can I ask a question?
Sure.
Oh, okay.
Hold
All
on
right.
one second.
I'll
We're
let them
trying to
know.
get Larry muted.
All right.
Okay.
I just got
Well-
this is Larry Sloan, and I'm sorry to interrupt. I just got a call from Billy Wright, and he's not able to get on.
I was talking, sorry.
Now he needs to be unmuted.
So Bill Wright couldn't get on today. Thank you, Larry.
Okay.
Okay, all right. Liz, okay, ask a question.
So, just so you know. Okay, just so you know, David, part of what you said, we couldn't hear. I'm not sure exactly. I got that the committee hasn't met, but you're working to get, Laura Grabowski to speak to the group. Did I get that right?
Yeah, next month she will be conversing with us about housing issues. So hopefully, we can get some, information, maybe some questions asked and some of those questions answered, or at least, an attempt to get that. What I really wanted to, how can we get Metro to all the new stuff that's going up, being built, all the Oscar Manor's coming down, some, new units will be going up in their place. How can we assure that there's a lot of accessible units in these buildings that will be going up? How can we ensure that? I know we can't go above state building code, so I'm going to try to work next session on state building code issues, but other than that, I'd just like the dialogue to be created and start between Metro and the disability community into how we can rectify the horrible need for affordable and accessible housing.
So one, it sounds like you also need the woman who's now over the housing authority to talk about that. The DOSCR is run by the housing authority, not Laura Grabowski, is my understanding. Sorry, the allergies are affecting my voice. I sound like, I don't know, like I'm sick. I'm not. I just have a crazy voice this morning. This afternoon, Lord, losing time too. So it sounds like it might be worth having the housing authority woman whose name is escaping me right now. And I just wanted to also say out loud, so it holds me to this commitment, but Gathering Strength and Mattingly Edge are working with a consultant who is helping us put together a policy strategy on increasing accessible housing. And it's just taking longer than we expected. But I think we're going to have a good list of strategic options that we could propose to decision makers. And by saying this out loud publicly, I now feel like I must follow through. And as soon as we have that, we're going to want to set up meetings with stakeholders so we can start vetting the strategy. So hopefully that's some good positive news for on the housing front.
Well, if I can help in any way or with that stuff, please let me know. I'll be happy to do that.
Yeah,
And also, but
you're one of 3 or 4 people who are on my email list about this. We just haven't gotten it. The consultant is not finished yet, so.
last Wednesday, Age Friendly Global met, and those individuals who are in charge of that, their name escapes me as well, in charge of Oscar Marin, all that spoke to our group about that and told us about some of the issues like, the old First Bank grocery store behind that. All of that's going to be for aging and disabled individuals. And where Oscar Manor is presently, they will be torn down, will be multi-use for, 1, 2, 3 bedroom, others like that. So we discussed a lot of issues, and I stressed the part about universal design and accessibility and the need for that. And they were totally in agreement. But as we all know, there's strings attached to every damn federal thing. But yes, they're hoping the dialogue's created. If I can find their name, when I get back to the office tomorrow, I'll maybe see if they can potentially maybe speak with Laura. So we'll see. I'll let you know. But thanks.
Okay. Thank you very much. Okay. We had a person come on that said that, Suzanne Rourke from TARC 3 or from TARC was gonna be coming on. Anyway, it's way up above. She'll be there shortly. Okay. So, I will go ahead and speak really fast, on the, public spaces and events. We did meet on March the 24th. And we'll go back to, TARC. And we had about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of us on our meeting, and we were supposed to invite a friend, and that didn't happen, but I still felt like the core group was there, so that gave me great inspiration. We are in the process of developing a list of main events that need to be looked at in terms of accessibility, and also just have like a little checklist that people can take with them when they go to these big events, to just see what is accessible, what is not accessible. And then we can report on those as we get them back. We are also looking at some of the parks. We want to try to see how many metro parks in Louisville have the accessibility components to them and access to the accessibility. Because it's one thing to have an accessible playground, but if you can't get to it, that's hard in itself. And I show an example of Joe Creason Park, and they have potentially good play equipment in there, but there's no way for somebody that is in a wheelchair to get actually from the parking lot to the playground equipment. It's really rough. So just looking at some of the parks that are in Louisville and trying to figure out how we can help with getting that recognized. And we will be meeting again on May 19th from 3 to 4. It's the third Monday of the month, since the last Monday of the month ends up being the Memorial Day weekend. If you're wanting to join that group, please email me and I'll send you a Teams invite. So our group is actually called Public Spaces and Events and Awareness. So we're going to focus on awareness as well. We want to help with the education and employment with the crib camp that's coming up, and also transportation and also housing. So I'm sure that all 4 of these 4 subgroups will meet together at various times in the rest of the year to try to help each other. And that's kind of my goal on that, hopefully. And that is my complete response to that. Let's see. Oh, Lisa said she got on too, and then she disconnected. She's trying to rejoin. Okay, do we have somebody now from TARC on here that can speak what Sean Riley was going to talk about?
Suzanne is in the parking lot. She's coming into the building.
Okay, she's coming in here. Oh, there.
Yes.
Okay. Let's see if I don't know if I can, I don't know what to do.
Got hit the green button on the wall.
She's got like blonde, like, yeah, older blonde hair. I was about to say middle like 40s. Glasses, blonde
Okay,
hair.
so we have somebody coming in from TARP 3. That's awesome. All right. Moving on to, we'll have her come in and speak here. New business announcements. Anybody have any new business that they would like to discuss besides Crip Camp coming up shortly? When is Crip
This is
Camp? Go ahead.
This is Tallery, just to say that at the end of April, on April 23rd, 25th, and 26th, Actors Theater of Louisville is presenting a workshop called FDR's Very Happy Hour. And we are happy to provide complimentary tickets to audience members with disabilities that are willing to join us and give us some feedback about how accessible the show is, because that's one of the goals of the show. So I can send the offer by email. I know a couple of you have already taken me up on that and should have your tickets reserved. But please spread the word and let folks know if you're interested. It's a new work in development and the artists are very interested in community feedback.
That's awesome. Thank you. So back out to all of you. When is Crip Camp? Does anybody know?
April 19th.
19th. Good job. And where is it at, David?
It is at the place in Happy.
And what's the name of the
Ivy
place?
Works.
Happy Works, that's it.
Thank you, Sarah.
Sorry.
That's okay. So it's at the Highview Arts Center. It is on Fagenbush Lane. We can put the flyer back out to everyone again after our meeting today. So please promote that in all of your businesses. Send it out to all your colleagues. We want this to be a big event coming up. We will have food. There will be vendors there, not vendors. They will be there will be tables set up for people that want to share their businesses with you on accessibility. I know Kipta's gonna have a table there. There's others that are already committed to having a table at the theater. So we're excited about that as well. And we have our next meeting for that coming up soon. So I can't remember what Monday that is, but it's coming up. April sorry, y'all. If anybody wants to join us, you're welcome. I will come up with a date and send it out to, through Greg. So when's the next meeting, Greg? Go ahead, Sarah.
I tried to attach a link to the flyer in the chat, but it's not letting me. So if I am able to do that by the end of the meeting, I will try. If not, Greg may have to send that back out to everybody.
I think it's next Monday.
Sorry, Corey, what?
It's next Monday.
Corey, this is Tallery. Are you saying the meeting is next Monday?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Corey. Perfect. Yeah, that's all right. Crip Camp's next meeting is next Monday. Thank you, Corey, so much. And it's from 4 to 5. The later meeting. Thank you, Corey. That helps a lot. It was coming up quick.
Today I went to the one over on the park on bypass.
I don't know, she said she was in the parking lot. I'm not sure what it looks like.
So we haven't seen Suzanne yet. No.
I'll go.
Question,
Yes, Liz, go
Could-
ahead.
could Tallery send or put in the chat or email some information about that event at Actors?
This is Tallery. I sure can. I've got a longer email, but I can put a short version in the chat. The simplest way to reserve a complimentary ticket is to email me. So I'll put that in the chat.
Okay, yeah, put your email in the chat. That's good.
I'll send that out. I sent it out last month's notes, so yeah, I can send it out here.
No calendar yet. Nope, okay. One of the things that we did need to talk about that's on our agenda is the discussion about our commission makeup and our term limits on there. We have people that will be cycling off altogether, and hopefully all of them will want to stay on, but it'll be a sad day come up in 2027 when there's like about half of us coming off the commission. So needing to talk about term limits and that, and also, like, if there isn't anywhere, Sarah, correct me if I'm wrong, in our bylaws about a person being a chair that is not an appointed member. I think that was just something we kind of came up with when we set this up.
Correct. There's nothing currently that states that a chair has to be an appointed member in our bylaws currently.
Correct. Okay, so let's have a discussion about that. How do you all feel about that? About having somebody that is not an appointed member be a subcommittee chair and or the chair of this commission.
Does Metro have general rules about its commissions? You might look at to see if there are rules about that govern all the commissions.
Here, I'm gonna point that to you.
I can look to see if there's anything updated. I know some of the commissions, they do have that in place, some do not. So I can look to see if there's anything written as a rule per se. My only concern would be if, I don't know the best way to phrase this, but when we look at ensuring that we have a quorum, you know, part of the ability to have a quorum is to have those appointed members present. So I just want to make sure that we don't get too heavy on anything, that we don't have enough appointed members in positions that would require them to be there, so that we're able to still move forward on any voting matters. So other than that, I mean, I'm don't have a problem with, you know, we do have a lot of community individuals who are very regular attendees, and I appreciate all the great input they put in. I just am trying to put that forward in terms of, you know, ensuring we have certain things in place.
Some point of clarification might be, if you did let someone that wasn't appointed, and let's just say that they, for lack of a better word, went rogue and wasn't all that pleasurable to everyone to work with, so how would you get them removed? Would it be a simple commission vote, or would that have to be there, you know, I guess the mayor will remove them if that were the case? Honestly, that's food for thought.
Well, it seems to me if someone is willing to be a chair and come to every meeting, they should be on the commission.
You know, hardly, you got.
Yeah. Yeah.
They have no term limits and don't have to be reappointed, so there's less regulation around their involvement.
Yeah.
Well, one of the, so
I was
ahead.
I was just gonna add that I was asked to be on the commission by Council President Ackerson, but I didn't get a lot of information. So what is the capacity, or how many appointed people can we have? And I know that the council obviously has a person, a mayor can appoint someone. How many people can be appointed? I was on the Human Relations Commission before, and I remember some guidelines around that, but I don't know much about this.
It's 13. 13 appointed members.
Did you hear that?
And they have to be appointed. We can't, like, if we have someone that's showing up and is participating, and we can't make a recommendation to have that person appointed. It's only through the mayors or the other folks.
So we can make recommendations for appointment, but the way the ordinance is currently written, they have to fall into certain categories, if you will, silos. So we have so many individuals from employment, education, rehab, individuals representing a disability or an agency who represents disabilities, et cetera, et cetera. So that's currently how it's written. There's 13 of those various positions, and then 5 ex officio non-voting positions from Louisville Metro departments. And yes, we can either make recommendations for appointment, or In some cases, Mayor Greenberg has directly appointed individuals without, the application process and us making the recommendation. He has directly appointed them.
Oh, Sean, yay, we're happy to see you. Thank you.
Hello. Hey, sorry everybody. Miss Suzanne was supposed to be there, but she had the wrong address. So we'll do this on Zoom if that's okay, or Teams if that's okay.
Fine, no problem. Thank you, sir. Go ahead, you're up.
Awesome. All right. Well, sure as all of you are aware that TARC is in the middle of our TARC 2025 network redesign, and we are deep in the thick of public engagement. And as like our first phase, we're trying to hit about 160 plus public meetings and trying to reach as many communities and meetings as possible. And so we're trying to at least match what we did in our first phase of the public engagement in terms of getting surveys. Last time we got 2,800 surveys from the Louisville community. So if you have not had a chance to take our survey yet, I would strongly encourage everybody to please take a survey. It is on ridetarc.org and it is under the TARC 2025 network tab. But as for today, I am happy to answer any questions that you guys may have about the process. And if you're unfamiliar, I'm happy to kind of walk you guys through what we're looking at. So I apologize for not being as prepared as I should be for this.
Larry or Scott Reed, Councilman Reed, anybody have any questions that they would like to ask TARC 3?
I do not, and I apologize for being late. I had something come up at work, so my apologies.
Worries.
What's the timeline? What's been the
I
timeline?
have a.
Yeah. Mhm.
Okay, so Councilwoman Wright, go ahead first.
I'm sorry, you all. I didn't know others had chimed in. Hi, Sean. It's good to see you. I follow you a lot on
You as
those
well.
other spaces. I really appreciate, and I know TARC 3 is so valuable to so many people. I just wanted to see how we can help because I know you hear about it and we want more people to be able to use it and we want to make sure that it's solidified. So I just want to know if there's ways that we can help. And then I heard somebody mention a timeline. That was my other question around how things are looking for TARC 3.
Right. Okay. Yes. So with TARC 3, the way it works is that anybody who lives within 3/4 of a mile of fixed route service has access to TARC 3. And with the changes in the network coming next year, not only will fixed route riders who are used to having TARC routes near them possibly lose their routes, but people who are on TARC 3 as well, there is possibility that those people could lose access to TARC 3 as well. So those decisions have not been finalized or been made yet, and that is going to be up to the TARC board. But yeah, so that's when we're looking at this kind of level of service cuts to fixed routes, we're also looking at the impact of TARC 3 to that. And right now, with that, let me just pull my numbers up of what those impact numbers look like. Sorry. We are. I apologize for the delay.
Sean, I know when I went to the TAC meeting last month, that they talked about the number of riders of TARC 3 being so much more than how Indianapolis was mentioned.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, in terms of like the overall TARC 3 user population?
double some of those places.
Yes, yeah, I do believe we're at least double in terms of how many people are riding TARC 3 here in, or paratransit service here in Louisville versus our peer cities. That is correct. But let me get my numbers up here, and I apologize. Miss Suzanne had this with her, and I was trying to jump in as quick as I can while you guys were still in the meeting.
I think we're all staring at your square or anything like that.
Yeah. Well, this is Liz, just while he's looking around, I think it's at, I'm gonna put in the chat the link to the TARC 2025 website where you can click on more information about the 3 proposed network changes, and you can fill out the survey. If everybody here has not filled out the survey, please do it by April 30th. That's the close time of the survey. And it's my belief, well, at least it looked like it from last year, that the TARC board really does take this into consideration. And there are plenty of people without disabilities who know nothing about paratransit who are going to fill out that survey. So at least as someone with a disability who knows a lot of people who use paratransit, I've filled out the survey. I urge us all to fill it out. It is important for decision makers to know that there are citizens and voters who care about excellent public transportation and are willing to, for Metro and for TARC and for state decision makers to find more funding to support the best paratransit we can have here. And you see my bias, and that will of course help everyone who uses paratransit. In that survey, you have the opportunity to weigh in on all 3 options, including a growth option, which will take more revenue. And I am urging you to consider weighing in on the importance and value of finding revenue for a growth model. So I'll get off my soapbox, and maybe Sean has found.
Yeah, that's
what he was
great. I
looking for.
appreciate that, Liz. Thank you. Yeah, so Shamika, what I've got here is, with what I said about in terms of us reducing the service footprint size of TARC and reducing service, what that would mean for paratransit. So if TARC were to go to that, either the limited or enhanced plans late next summer, so that, it's reducing the overall coverage area. The people who live outside, so you would have that new legal zone for TARC 3 that would be within 3/4 of a mile of a fixed route service. You would have people who now no longer live inside that legal zone. Okay, so in order for TARC to still serve those people who are outside of that zone, it would be an approximately $5 to $7 million annually, is what TARC would have to budget for that. So hopefully that kind of answers that part of the question. And then in terms of our timeline of when this all could be implemented, we're looking at late summer of 26 is when either of these 2 plans could be implemented.
It looks like we lost the meeting, folks. Do you see that?
I still hear you.
Yeah,
I know you and I are on, but we are.
I still hear and see you all.
Virtually.
Yeah.
But it's Dia
okay.
and David, and can they there? Look, see, now we got to get them back in.
There's another
This is a
page.
hybrid meeting.
Sorry,
This
guys,
is
we're
a
trying to get it
hybrid
back up and
meeting.
running.
Yeah.
There we go.
All right. This is Larry Sloan. Can you all hear me?
We can, Larry.
Yes.
Yes, Larry, we can hear you.
Yeah. Here's a problem I've run
Yes.
into.
Hold on, Larry. The others are getting back into the meeting. I just admitted
Oh, I
them
see.
in.
Okay, they got booted
There you
off.
go. So I want to
Okay.
make sure they hear you as well.
Okay, let me get my stuff up here.
Greg, Lauren, can you all hear us?
Yes.
Okay, go ahead, Larry. Sorry for interrupting.
All right, I've run into a complaint that the maps that are on the website, right, Tark, for the new proposed routes um, are not able to magnify to the point where people can tell how close they come to their point of residence. And I did hear from this individual that you could download the map and then you could expand it. But I tried that and it didn't work for me. And I'm wondering if you have any thoughts on that. I'm curious about that. At one point you were supplying maps that were you could zoom in on the map to see how you could see the city streets that are near you and how many blocks you are from a particular street junction or something like that. I wondered
Yeah,
if
so
you
with
had,
well, with the way the draft plans are, yeah, that's correct. So they're limited on, I guess, their pixel count on the website, and then yeah, you do have to download the full high res version in order to do like get that real detailed zoom in.
how
But
do
that's yeah.
how do you go about downloading that? Is there a link to it on the website?
I can send you I can put in the chat here. Let me see if I can pull it up right now, how to download those maps. Because it should just right click is what it was doing before.
Well, that's what I was hoping it would do. I was looking at the, let's see, which plan am I looking at here? I think this one is the limited plan. And I'm not able to, now there's a little thing that has a plus on it. And is that, if you click on that, does that magnify for you then?
Let me check and see.
Let's see. No, it says for a text description of the limited plan, including major roads and destinations, please click here. That doesn't expand the
Yeah, so
map
that's
itself.
that's the detailed like written description for people who are visually impaired that would need to have like use a screen reader or have it read to them. That's what that little tab there is for.
Is there a way to get, I don't know if you can get it on the website or not, but is there a way we can magnify?
Yeah, I think the issue with the website was the file size with that level of detail was like
very
too,
big,
was like too, yeah, it was very big. It was like too big for our server to have that level. We'll get you the zoomed in. But also, Larry, remember on these drafts, because they are draft plans, there still could be changes to them, or changes to where bus turns or where bus stops are. And so once we get to that more detailed stage, we'll have much more detailed maps as well moving forward once we decide which of these drafts we're going to go with.
Okay.
But how do people weigh in if they don't? I mean, I don't see a way to download them either, and people need to weigh in on the survey. And how do they know whether they like one plan versus another if they can't see where the line goes compared to their current bus stops?
Yeah.
Let me grab this because I know there's a way to download it here, and I apologize for not having that ready.
Well, I didn't give you a heads up, and I meant to
That's okay.
earlier. It's been one of those weeks with all the rain and everything.
Oh yeah, it's only Monday.
Yeah,
we
it's
haven't even
only
pressed
Monday.
it yet.
Yeah.
I think that is under. Is somebody talking there?
Yeah, this is Billy Wright on my telephone talking, and what he said is we're going to have a meeting of the whole committee of the whole of the TAC tomorrow at 10 a.m. And I can send you the Zoom to that if you want to get on it.
Yeah, so I've got it here for you, Larry, how to do that if you want. So when you go to the TARC 2025 website,
okay,
what you want to click on is Project Documents.
Oh, Project Documents. Okay, let me go back
to
the site here itself and see if I can go along with you on this. So Should I click
And then
on
from
the
there, click-
2025 overview or
Yeah, so 2025 tab.
tab?
Then you're,
Okay.
then you're, yeah, then you're, you can click on, you can get there two different ways. You can get there via the accessible materials tab is probably going to be your best way.
Let's see here. Now I've got, let's see here. I've got a
John,
survey, then
can
I've
you
got,
can you share
that-
your screen and just show us?
I can try and share my screen. Let me see here.
I don't see a tab.
You
that
need to give me
says about
permission.
change.
I
in
think
act-
just hit share up there in the top right.
Top right. Oh, there it is. Okay, perfect. Let's see. See if this works.
And Sean, not that I expect you to answer now, but
Uh-huh.
the factor that either one of these plans can impact the amount of people who will use Talk 3 or not. I'm thinking that was factored in. But is that self-explanatory when people are reading? I'm going to do the survey. Like she said, I'm going to do that later. But is that factored into this too, that it could cause a big increase? Because some people who were catching certain routes could qualify for TARC 3, but they were able to get the TARC, so they caught the bus. So I can imagine
Right.
those numbers are going to change.
Yes,
And
yes. So
was
that
that
is
factored in?
that is factored in. That is in our survey as well.
Okay.
But let me walk Larry through this real quick, and then I'll walk you guys through the survey.
Yeah, let me go back.
Are
here
y'all
where
seeing
you
my
started.
screen now?
Well, we're seeing us. Can you
Oh, you're
go
seeing
to
us.
the web page with
Okay, let's see
the
here.
TARC 2025?
So I am on that. Let me get.
All right.
So you're seeing. Okay. So all right. So let me see. Stop
So
sharing.
stop sharing. Yeah.
All right. So let me share again. Let's see.
Several different screens, you just gotta select one.
Yeah, you've got to choose the one that says window,
Aha.
and
Okay.
then
There we go. All right. I think I got it.
There you go. Good.
All right. So we're gonna click TARC 2025. Over here on this left-hand side, there's tabs. The quickest way to get to that is going to be the accessible material tab.
Okay.
And then there's, can you guys see my mouse?
Yeah.
All right, so then it's going to be this for the PDF plan. We'll click that PDF, and then this is
Okay,
where we can
that's
do
the
that really
PDF.
detailed. We can do this really detailed zoom in,
Okay.
and this will get you very, much tighter than what the website was showing.
Okay. So you can download that,
Correct,
and then
yes.
you have to open it up as a PDF, and you can get more
correct.
detail. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
That's something I'm going to look at after the meeting, and then we're going to talk about it at our TAC meeting tomorrow, committee of the whole. But it would be, that's at 10 a.m. I don't know, Sean, if you can join us for a few minutes and go through this with your screen to show some of the other members of TAC what this is and how to go about doing that. I think that would be very helpful. Yeah. We need to get that out, though, to the community at large that has difficulty in using, in imagining, well, what street is this near? I can't make it out. Is it near 12th Street, or is it near, where is it located? What's the closest intersection to where I live that this might, and also there are no proposed bus stops on this, right?
There are no proposed bus stops yet. No.
Okay. Yeah. All right.
And now we'll go to the survey. So we'll walk you through the survey as well.
This tells you how to create a survey.
Well, I got to type in the correct link here.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
For those of you playing at home, you can just use the QR code to get to the link.
Yes. All right. Are you guys seeing my screen now?
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's a word description of the different
Yep.
networks.
Yeah. So if we go with the enhanced network, that's 12% less service than our spring network. And then let me get you guys to the questions on paratransit here. I might actually have to just go through these real quick. It won't let me advance until I click something.
Oh, I see. Okay. Yeah. You're doing the survey, so to speak.
Yeah. Just
Sean, this isn't going to get counted, is it? What you're doing?
no, no. This is just I'm gonna just get it
You
advanced
have it
here, and
in.
then I'm gonna.
He's not going
Yeah.
to submit it. You have to submit it, I think.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let's see here. No, here. Okay. Let's hit next. Okay. Oops. That is not what I wanted. I want to hit no. Next.
Elizabeth, I'm in the car, but when we hang up and you send the flyers and everything, can you send the links for the survey too? Or is there somewhere I can find it?
It's on the TARC website.
Okay, I can go to the
Yeah.
website. Okay.
So
Thank
yeah,
you.
so then Shamika, you were asking about funding for TARC 3. So here's two questions that relate to TARC 3 and funding for TARC 3. The first one walks people through the American Disabilities Act and that how TARC is required to provide the complimentary paratransit service for people who are in that 3/4 of a mile. And then it talks about that there would be about 34% of current paratransit trips would no longer be within that 3/4 mile zone for the enhanced network. If we go to that limited network, it's about 44% of trips are no longer in that zone. And then it talks about if TARC were to still provide trips for people who are outside that zone, that cost range I gave you between 5 and 7 million. So it's asking people if they are likely or unlikely to support additional taxes or local funding to maintain the current paratransit services in the future. So we're giving people 5 options there, from very likely to very unlikely. Our next question is walking people through the fares for TARC 3. So right now, any transit agency across the country cannot charge more than 2 times their standard bus fare for paratransit services. So right now, TARC is at $3 per ride for TARC 3. And then it lets people know that the per trip cost for a paratransit trip is $46. And then it's asking people if they would, support or not support for people who live outside of that new 3/4 mile zone. So if somebody is, inside the zone currently under the new plan, if they are then outside of that zone, TARC could theoretically charge a higher fare for that individual if they're outside the zone. And then it's asking people, would you support that higher fare price to still try and maintain service for those people?
What would be the maximum fare then under the current fare structure?
So if my understanding is if they're outside that zone, there's no regulations per the federal guidelines. The regulations apply only within that 3/4 mile zone.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. Wait a minute, Billy. Hang on. Billy had a comment.
I think that sounded like Corey.
Somebody else had a comment first, so let's hear the comment of that.
But people who are on TARC 3. Or fixed income. They cannot afford a higher rate.
Right.
So you have the opportunity to make a comment and a judgment on that in the survey. So I think it's important for you to fill out that survey.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. So that's what we're trying to gauge on this question here. So yeah, I mean, it's, TARC has, difficult choices to make, and we need the community's help to help us, guide us in these choices as we're looking at what the future is going to be like for us.
Mhm.
Larry, did Billy have a comment as well?
Yeah, Billy, you want to go ahead with your comment? I think they can hear you now. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, when you are considering different prices, you need to look at Pittsburgh.
Okay, and why is that?
They have it that way now.
They have a price schedule that is
The quarter you get from downtown, the more you pay.
okay.
And
so
you said in Pittsburgh?
how does that work for paratransit? Is that what you're talking about, paratransit?
I know it's for, I think it's for route. I know it's a fixed route.
So they have a variable rate schedule depending on how far you are from your destination or from downtown?
From downtown.
You said that's Pittsburgh?
Yeah. Not sure how that would
I will take a note of that for sure.
Billy, has that been detrimental to the disability community or not, or equal? I mean, kind of, if it's been bad, good, or neutral?
Was that a question for Billy? It was kind of muffled. I couldn't hear you.
So Larry, David was asking, has that been a detriment to the Pittsburgh community as far as charging a higher rate going out? Or do you feel like that they're handling it?
Good to know.
Do you know even? My question is to Billy, Larry.
Yeah. So Billy is saying when you're on fixed income, go ahead, Billy.
You can't hear him, Larry.
Pretty obviously does. Yeah. Could you hear that?
No, we didn't hear any of that.
Okay. Well, basically, when you're on fixed income, as most people who are disabled are, then it would limit the amount of trips that they could make if the rates went up. That's pretty obvious. Okay.
Is that Suzanne I'm seeing there?
She made it.
Awesome, fantastic. Suzanne, do you have anything you want to add?
I'm not really sure what you went over to begin with. So I did pass out flyers. They have the QR code, have all three of the different maps that you can weigh in on. And we would appreciate it. It's so important for you to take the survey. I can't tell you how important it is for you to take the survey because we will be looking at those numbers and making tweaks to our system based on those.
Can I ask a question on that?
Sure.
I don't know the percentages, but I would think the percentages of people that can use the technology that need paratransit are huge. Like the differences between the two, the inability of somebody that rides paratransit to use technology is probably bigger than the community at large.
Mm-hmm.
So are there other ways that you are gathering this information? I mean, we're getting this from town hall meetings or other things? I mean, is it this specific information though? Because I worry, hearing some of those questions, I worry about that a little bit because there's a lot of people in the community not seeing those questions and not understanding that I could be saying yes to something and it means my rates are going to go up.
Yeah. We have more than 160 meetings scheduled for the 6-month period or 6-week period. So we're trying to get out there as much as we can. We are, several of those meetings involve organizations that advocate for individuals with disability, whether it's Federation for the Blind or others. So we're trying our best to get that input. And when we are on site, should there be somebody with a disability who wants to take the survey, we do that for them on a pad. So they don't necessarily have to, go to the website, find this. So we do have that technology that we take with us every time we go out.
Yeah. What about for people
I
actually?
know my district,
if
And
they're
I was
getting a
just-
ride here in the next few weeks, is there a way to take it really quickly once they're done with the ride, or is that, I mean, when they're already in there? Like, could the driver have the iPad?
Fair transit, I got you.
I don't know the answer to that question. It's certainly an interesting suggestion that we can put transportation.
They may not have
Well,
heard that.
The QR codes are on all the buses. And then we can also do phone surveys and we can do paper surveys via the mail. So if somebody wants to call in, they can call and take a survey with TARC over the phone, and they can also call and request a paper survey.
When they call to schedule a ride, can they be like, hey, would you like to take the survey right now and transfer them to someone to do it over the phone?
That's going to be, is Jennifer still on the call? That'd have to be a question for Jennifer if
Yes.
if they could do that while they're taking a scheduling call.
That's something I would have to check into. I can't outright say yes because their incentives and penalties are associated with their talk times, but let me check into it to see what we can do. Maybe we can transfer them. Yeah, maybe we can just transfer them to the customer service call center. Let me check and see.
Like trying to meet them where they're already at. When they're already interacting with you, how can you be like, hey, do you want to do this?
Yeah. Because otherwise they forget.
Totally agree. Totally agree. And then each council district should be hosting. I know for District 3, we're hosting an event where we've invited TARC in to talk and be able to do surveys. And we've done surveys where we've had people call in, we've delivered paper ballots and talked to them. But I do think that's an important question he put out there because there is a big digital divide with some of this stuff. And it can be intimidating to say, just go to the QR code. So I like that you have alternative ways people can do that. I want to be able to put that language in what we share about our TARC meeting coming up as well.
Mm-hmm.
Does anybody else have any more questions for TARC? And we appreciate Suzanne running and finding.
I have been all over Louisville.
So sorry.
No, it's all right. It's my fault.
Anybody else have any more questions for TARC? Take the survey, please. Everyone that's on the call today, take the survey. Liz?
Hey, Dia, Greg, and Sarah, I emailed you these links just in case you could just email everybody who's on this meeting. Email them the links to even though they're in the chat, not everybody can grab them from the chat. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, Greg, we'll go ahead and
Yes,
email
thank
those out to everybody on the commission that is a community member and or that is on this meeting today. So.
Great.
That'll be great. I'm already volunteering him, but I'm sure he's doing it, no problem.
Does anybody need any more of these they want to take back to work with?
I would like, yeah.
I'll take one.
Yeah.
Anybody else? Everybody good?
Who else?
She can walk out with none.
Yeah, I'm okay with that.
That's good.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Okay, we are over on time.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you so much. I think you have to push the green. Oh, no, here you go.
We apologize for the confusion on the meeting location.
No worries. You know, this is our first time Sean back as a hybrid together. And so we already knew we were going to face some challenges trying to get the room set up and everyone on. So we appreciate you guys being our guinea pig.
Okay, that sounds good.
Thank you.
And I think Corey was messaging me earlier. We're going to be with he was the group that he was talking about
Yes.
was the Yes group. So I think we're going to be at the Yes group. I believe April 17th. If anybody's will be at that one, I'm going to get that set up with Corey after we get off of this.
That sounds great.
And if I could say one thing, if anybody knows any young people with disabilities that we can get involved with this commission, it would be fantastic. We'll probably talk to Stephanie about that at the Crips camp, and maybe there might be some young people at the Crips camp, but really need to get young people involved in the disability community, so the issues that's going on here. And we can see in the federal government what's happening right now. And, I think a lot of the young people take for granted the ADA, Medicaid, and other issues, and That can be taken away in a fraction of a second, so, we really gotta get the young people involved in some of these issues about, their, basically their future life, so. If you all know any young people, we get involved, it would be fantastic, thanks.
All right, so I am at 3:05. I know we haven't, gone through all of our agenda items. We were gonna talk about the makeup and term limits, and I will not be here next month. So, somebody will be leading this, probably Lauren. And because as of right now, we don't have a co-chair, and we need to have a discussion about that, so maybe Lauren can lead that as one of the meeting, discussions next time. So, I call from the floor, somebody to adjourn our meeting today.
David, I'll make a motion to adjourn the meeting.
I appreciate it. Somebody to second it. Thank you, Lauren, and thank you, everybody, for meeting today. Sorry, we're gonna be better at this, and it's gonna become a great hybrid meeting. I love being able to be on at the same time and being in person. Have a good day.
Thank you all.
Blessings. Stay
Thank
dry.
you.
I hope your area dries
you.
out. Thank you. David.
We'll get 2026.
There is no well-versed.
I'm turning 35 next month and something I'm not young.
Whose backpack is this?
That's mine, that's mine.
Okay, it scared me because I was like, something.
Look, we get a case of them, yeah.
I got a bunch of them.
We have a whole case there ready to get them.
So suggestions.
I'm sorry, it took me so long to get here. I've got stuff happening, Sarah. You want to go? Thank you, though, Greg. Thank you. Just so you know.
I'll figure it out about that. I thought that it had a lot of Greg and I. And we have to meet with the ad hoc committee on.
Yeah, and you know, then we have our
Group
our
and
resource. Got and there.
it is.
Like that one has like big resources. Ours is more
Local.
Yeah,
Wednesday.
yeah. I talked to,
Okay, I'm sorry.
I talked to Phyllis Molestina
Uh-huh.
the other
So
day.
I'm not
We
super
talked
concerned
about
about it. I'm
maybe
just gonna make like a
we talked
one
about
paper
maybe
about like our makeup, like
Potentially,
someone
I said,
representing,
well, I need to talk to you.
you know,
about
an
it.
educational organization, an individual with a disability. I'm gonna write some highlights of things we've done, like multiple meetings, trip camp show, and things like that.
I mean, would that be you or?
And then I'm gonna write like, I'm gonna write, every organization of a member, but then also like.
Whoever you would want, that is fine with me.
So, but it's not meant to be big
So, like,
difference with all the commissions,
We
but
don't really have anybody after
it's a
July.
new committee. We're like,
Want to pick one of those. that works.
Greg, don't worry.
Email
I got token
manager.
mine. So this is the thing, when they first emailed me, and told Sarah, I was like,
Okay,
well, I
well,
think
thank you.
it should have gone to Greg, but I'll do it because he's still transitioning or whatever, and Sarah's told Althea that he's transitioning into the liaison. And I said, my fear is that they're gonna tell me that we don't do enough and that we shouldn't meet. She goes, send Greg. She goes, I dare them to tell Greg to his face. This is an important meeting. And so like, Sarah.
No, but who said that?
No, like I'm afraid that
Like
then
they said, we don't.
if they
have
said, hey, this commission doesn't do enough, we're not gonna have it anymore.
Oh.
Oh, yeah, they're checking all the different
They're
commissions
just-
and stuff like that. The
Yeah.
only reason I'm kind of like, okay, because my commissions